Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what could be Team Spirit's fourth win in a row, or it could be the beginning of Vega trying to make a run to TI7. I'm LD. I'm joined here, as you can see, by Fogged. We already have a draft on our hands. We're just going to jump into it. The teams are picking pretty quickly. And, of course, Spirit leading this best of 3, 1-0.
So they're really liking Jakiro. They didn't really favor it crazy in their previous days or in their previous matches at all.
I mean, this game, obviously, you're up against the tree, so...
Yeah, that makes a little more sense.
Where we normally see the Jakiro, but they pick it without him, too.
Yeah, even in the last game they grabbed it up, so it's a bit curious. I haven't been seeing too much tree either. I feel like this hero's started to fall away during this qualifier. Clockwork Jakiro for Spirit. Quite a different change in comparison to what they had last time, but last game they did get, of course, sinking in the first two, and this time they did ban it out.
I do like this puck opening by Vega. It's a lot more like versatile than a Veno first phase pick, so could be that G hero mid, could still be your offlaner. You don't really know, and it gives you plenty of control. Even things like a Drow Strat are still a possibility at this stage. So.
You see that? It's a Chaos Knight ban.
People have been consistently doing this against Spirit. They ran it in the group stage, apparently.
Okay.
And won a couple of games with it. So Navi banned it against them. I believe Vega actually lost to it when they played them
oh yeah,
so.
Spirit did they had like CK Lina and then CKAA, I believe it was. They did some like dual lane combos.
Yeah, the cold feed into Reality Rift.
Yep,
Cheese.
okay, that's true. Good call.
But yeah, it's a very targeted ban. It's not like we're seeing a lot of CK from anyone else, and that's nice for Spirit. Just means they can, have a lot more of a wide open hero pool going into the second phase.
Yeah, I like the bans for Spirit, the third, fourth bans. I feel like those are like the big staple ones, at least that I think when I see Vega. I think Disruptor for Sayoma, Crystal Maiden for Silent normally, and they stick with the Void still. So having that control versus the puck can be quite good, and with the Jakiro having that extra lockdown, they just seem to really like this combo.
And I like the way they go for the Void. They don't like force into the first phase, but they'll take it when it's still sticking around. And well, there is the Drow Strat. So there you go. That's just one of the nice things about the puck first phase. It leaves you more open to really take advantage of this Drow pick. Kind of a dangerous Drow game though if you don't have a great start, but strong lanes right now for Vega.
Very strong lanes for Vega, yeah. Even with the Treant Protector on top of puck Drow. The clock and the Void can prove to, of course, be problematic because they can close the distance onto a Drow Ranger, but Void takes a while. This hero takes time. Same thing with Jakiro. Jakiro, he's such like a static kind of hero that he pressures towers with Liquid Fire, but he takes a while before he actually has his full arsenal of spells.
Spirit now working on pick number 4. We'll have to scramble to react to this Drow pick. Anything that jumps out at you is like an adjustment you can make in your strategy here.
Nothing really crazy. The big fours are kind of taken out of the game, and with Nyx Assassin not really looking like a viable option at all. That's like one of the big ones. And they already have clock, so this is... They can still keep their lineup open and ambiguous because we still don't know where this clock and Void can go since they can be swapping lanes up. Templar Assassin, so they're trying to get a good lane matchup at least versus the puck or whoever it is mid.
Obviously, if you get to like the mid game, Spirit have a lot of heroes that can mess up a Drow. TA just loves jumping on her. Clock Void can pounce on her too, but they got to get there, and that is not the easiest thing to do. You've got a potential like puck Drow aura to worry about.
Yeah. The TA pick is a bit curious to me. I mean, sure, the refraction's pretty good here versus what Vega's got going on, and it's a pretty early hero that can not really suffer. So, like, the Void takes time to build online. The Templar Assassin can be the one who's actually, like, making stuff happen with the traps and getting good vision in the Roche pit, because, Drow Ranger wants to get Roche early on, so at least you have traps inside that so that you can see if they're doing it.
But she, is also a hero that needs to farm a lot before she really is effective, so doesn't have great synergy with the Chrono or the Cog, so, it doesn't seem like the most natural synergy.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can, like, once you get, like, level 9 or 10, you get your Blink Dagger up, you can do very well versus the Drow Ranger, but...
I was kind of wondering if they would consider the Shadow Fiend with the Clockwork But I guess SF was
banned
actually
out
banned.
third,
So.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think SF would have been better otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I think SF was a very good pick, especially because it's a BKB core versus Puck and Treant Protector. And just into Drow Ranger. With the Clockwork, you start with full souls. It's quite nice.
Vega
So
gonna ban out that bat.
I think that's a good ban. Versus, you know, they have a Treant Protector. And just in-your-face hero versus Drow Ranger can be pretty obnoxious in the laning phase.
I'm still loving Vega's lanes right now.
Yeah, I really like Vega's lane in their team fight so far. Spirits is kind of all over the place.
So, do you think it's an off-lane puck, or do you think it's a mid puck?
I think the adjustment can still be made. I think this is more than likely Afterlife's hero this time around.
So then G hero, Lina we saw before.
Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain.
There's only the Chronosphere right now. Ice Path isn't really reliable. Queen of Pain's good matchup as well versus Templar Assassin, and it's like G's most played hero. And then having Puck Quap versus this, it can make a lot of trouble for Spirit, having very little stun or disable. Trying to think of what other ones for the big G heroes. I mean, usually it's been like 3 heroes, so it's been like Lina.
That changes things.
So they banned the Legion Commander because they still don't know exactly where the puck is, and it's also, you know, Afterlife. He's big Legion Commander player, and they want the Broodmother.
All the good anti-Brood heroes are pretty much gone. I guess there's Axe. Who else is even good against Brood Spider lanes?
Yeah, this is where the adjustment gets made. So we'll probably see G be mid as the puck, and they get a real counter to Brood.
Now we have seen a mid Broodmother before, but I don't think it's gonna happen when you have the TA.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, Queen. I think Queen still looks pretty damn good.
I love this Brood pick though.
Yeah, if
like you guys want to throw us, you want to throw us the curveball of the Drow? No problem. We'll throw you a bigger curveball.
Yeah. So Axe or Queen of Pain seem pretty decent. Otherwise, what other good heroes versus Brood? Not really a crazy amount. Okay, Storm Spirit, same kind of concept as the Queen of Pain. Not really a whole lot of lockdown on Spirit. They're gotta be able to abuse that one a good amount. And Storm can actually fare well if the Brood did go mid too. So I think that's kind of like a double adjustment thing. But yeah, their late game and their lanes look pretty strong for Vega. It's really dependent a lot for Team Spirit as if this Broodmother can really dismantle the lanes a lot. But overall, their team synergy is not really the same in comparison to Vega. They don't have as good as team fight. They just have this Broodmother who can throw a wrench in everything.
I mean, Spirit had to do something off the beaten path, right? Like, when you see that drought come out and how difficult the lanes were going to be already, like, if you just go into some standard, you know, I guess off-laner, you're going to get run over, right? Like, I don't think there was any hero they could have picked that would have, like, saved their laning stage, so.
Yeah, just Void with Broodmother and Templar Assassin. I don't see the synergy right now for Team Spirit's lineup in comparison.
No.
Like their lanes, the Broodmother can go ham, maybe FNG, since he had such a good game last game. He can maybe make a lot happen in the first couple minutes, but he's playing versus Treant Protector Witch Doctor. These two heroes are super strong in laning phase. Vega last game, their big issue, in my opinion, was this Kunkka and Shadow Shaman. Very weak in lanes, tough to do things the first 10 minutes. They never really even got like online. They never had the cohesion between them. This time around, it comes natural for Treant Witch Doctor. They're so beefy in laning phase.
Well, Spirit definitely got caught off guard by that Drow pick. We'll have to see if they can just outplay their opponents, because they certainly have not outdrafted them. They also do not have very good solutions for this Storm Spirit. I mean, you've got the Chronosphere, but it's an extremely low cooldown. Definitely good Storm players often are able to dodge that. And outside of that, there's really not much. So
yeah,
kind of looks on paper like a really good Storm game. And earlier today, we saw when it looks on paper like a good Storm game, it often is a great Storm game, and that was the case when Spirit took their Game 2 victory to get to this point.
Yeah. So we'll see what they're able to make of their lineup, but it does definitely look quite tough. They look very passive as well, like the heroes on Spirit. Void needs time to farm. Broodmother, if you either dominate the lane or you're just kind of a Brood who's just doing your own thing. Templar Assassin takes time. It's like Clockwork needs to run around and do everything for Team Spirit if the lanes don't go great for them. And I don't think that they will go very well with the side of Vega's heroes that they have.
Well, Vega getting the tree out there early, so marching around under invis.
Are they going to do... So there looks like they're going to post up in like an aggro tri-lane, and they're going to put Puck in a 1v1 versus the Broodmother. So Puck will definitely get rocked, lose this lane. But you have high base damage, and you have ways to nuke the wave and push it off your tower. So as long as he can get levels on the puck, he'll be fine. He will get levels for sure. So I like the lane matchup already. Vega having this adjustment versus the Brood. They don't want the Drow and Tree and Witch Doctor versus Brood.
They are clumped up near Slayer. Do have a single Sentry Ward available. Wonder if they just chuck it down. They're painting like they want to. They expect Slayer to be in the area.
If he goes for this rune, he's pretty crazy. There is a clockwork there. I don't believe he should go for the rune, and he doesn't. Good. So it doesn't reveal the position that they are either. They don't know exactly where the lanes are just yet. But
well, nice
Vega.
Triple bounty rune grab for Team Spirit. A
Yep.
small boost to their economy. Maybe this will help salvage things. Yeah, it's going to be the puck safe lane, as you mentioned. The Storm mid with the help of that Drow aura. Going to make Iceberg quite sad, but this clockwork can help. Great block by G, but cogs mean it really doesn't matter. They'll take that free last hit, but still, they are not going to let the Storm have the 1v1 he was hoping for.
Nope. FNG being a nuisance as expected. Oh, bottom lane. Vanskor actually tries to de-ward the sentry that Slayer has placed down, but instantly gets eaten by the Treant Protector. And they are not going to have a pull down in this bottom lane.
They might have a Slayer, though.
He can go. He can fade again.
He'll fade.
So now, dual lane should be just fine for Vega, and since this clockwork is being super obnoxious to G, rotation comes out from Witch Doctor.
It's going to turn into a 2v2 bottom. So far, so good for the Drow. Already 4 CS.
Should be just a trade farm between these two lanes, between the dual lane down here.
They're going to go again on the Storm, but this time FNG catches himself inside the cog, so he does tank the Remnant. That's a bit painful for him.
He was close to dying there if they actually wanted to drop the final Remnant with the Overload proc. It would have been very close for a kill.
Yeah, of course, the good news is, at least so far, Broodmother having a 1v1 matchup, and as she levels up, going to get increasingly difficult for this puck.
Yeah, puck can do fine in the first few levels, and then if he goes for this like double nuke build and doesn't get, maybe if he skips phase shift to like level 5 or something, he can actually kind of deal with spiders a bit, but he'll have to expend a lot of mana. He should be able to farm fine here. This is great for the puck, because you get, it's always going to be under your tower. Just we'll see how Phobos maximizes on this Broodmother.
I'm very curious about the Brood build. We've seen such an evolution in the hero. Like the old school Brood build was often the Orchid Rush. Then you start to see that Echo Saber Desolator build. Now we're seeing more of the Solar Crest a lot of the time.
Yeah. This
we
game
saw that like Radiance Manta phase for a bit. So this hero's had a lot of different builds.
Yeah. Orchid this game versus Storm puck definitely needed. Okay. Bottom lane, FNG going for a very big wraparound with the smoke.
Shikaro's pretty tanky. He's going to take a couple of tree punches, but should be okay. Meanwhile, actually turns around on the real gets the dual breath off from around the trees. BZZ is going to commit for this. He's got the time walk, so he can dive. Cog's even coming in. A bash would net him this kill. He's not very lucky today, apparently. FNG, though, tracks him down through the trees, able to pop the sound, now working on Silent. Team Spirit just bullying Vega. But no RNG whatsoever for BZZ. He has to have attacked like at least 10 to 12 times there. 0 bashes. Poor guy. He has
now
a time walk soon, though. FNG's in danger. Will end up going down. The God Smile on Vega, and they might even get BZZ too. No, he's got the time walk now, but man, give this man a bash already.
If he had gotten a bash, it would have.
On either of those
either of those kills, yeah.
10%, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he hit at least 10 times there.
Nice attempted rotation there from FNG, though. If he was level 2, they definitely would have gotten a kill there, but just shy of that. He wasn't able to sap enough experience in the mid lane.
Well, the good news for Team Spirit is despite the Drow aura, this Storm is farming well, but TA is definitely keeping up. 22 and 10 with that early support help, so.
Yep.
Void also CSing pretty well. Brood farming well. I mean, all the Team Spirit cores are actually doing just fine, despite the Drow.
Yeah, they picked to win at least one lane with the Broodmother pick, and with the positioning from the Clockwork, it made the secondary lane win too. Puck actually gets forced back to base nice and early, so Phobos already coming out a good amount ahead in that top lane.
Yeah, you can really start building up the Spiderling army now while the Puck is not home. It's going to be able to cut the wave, maybe go farm the jungle if he wants, so the pressure is going to mount on the Puck. And eventually this tower is going to get pushed down, but It's all just about holding as long as you can, farming as much as you can.
Yeah, push. That's the one thing that
Stalling.
the puck does help install, is that you can't really pressure the tower so much with the Brood, because you know you can. Sure, you can send your Spiderlings, you can do good damage, but the threat of them getting bursted down is too high, and Phobos just ruining Afterlife up here, just keeping the Spiderlings ahead of the creep wave.
Yeah, he didn't actually get the Spiderling auto attack on Afterlife, which does a lot of damage when you have that many grouped up. As soon as that orb gets thrown out, though, you can play aggro on him, and that's exactly what Phobos is going to do. Diving him under the tower. The silence is not enough to kill the Spiderlings off. He chases deeper, has the web there. This solo kill would be massive, but he's tanking the tower. Has to be careful. Afterlife orb's back. Is he going to jaunt? No siree. He heads to the south. Phobos unable to path through these webs for a moment. Now he gets it. The rotation comes now from the Clockwork. Cleaned up. Basically a solo kill by Phobos in the end.
Definitely needs to watch his orb usage.
That is real big. All of a sudden he's very close to level 6. And does get us a sizable advantage here in the lane now. Have they been stacking for the TA yet? Yeah, we do see Ancients starting to get stacked up now. So, I mean, despite on paper the lane's looking a little rough for Spirit, they've managed to work things pretty well.
Yeah, they've done very well with the way that they matched it up. Drow Ranger's suffering a bit in that offlane, to be kind of expected, since offlane Drow isn't really the greatest. It's just Vega had to make some kind of adjustment when the Brood pick was grabbed. And
of course, that the question is really going to be for Spirit, like how do they transition to the mid game, given something you really harped on in the draft is like there's very little synergy between a lot of these heroes.
Yeah, like Clockwork Void, no synergy between them.
TA
really.
Void, TA Clock.
Yeah. Like the nice thing is Clock can start a fight and then Void can follow up with the counter initiation, but between the two of them there's not really like real synergy.
And obviously the Brood is just going to play her own solo game for the most part.
Yeah, the Brood doesn't really help in that, but she helps in the lane push at least.
Slight kill opportunity here maybe with that gust hit, but still they're a little light on the damage department as Drow has gone for this early Ring of Health pickup.
Yeah, not getting the Wraith Bands or anything to help boost his other two lanes is a bit
Is
curious
it
to me.
rushing the Force Staff?
Yeah, more than likely. Just having the safe regen for the offlane. Since he's in offlane, he feels like he needs extra regen, but then, yeah, building toward that Force Staff. But I still do think that he should be buying, like, you know, Wraith Bands. The whole point of it is you pick this Agi, or these ranged heroes, so that you can get the damage bonus, but yeah, they only have plus 17 right now from that, or plus 12 from the Drow Aura at the moment.
Instead the TA is just wrecking the mid lane, 50 and 25.
Yeah.
And they've been stacking well for Iceberg. He's going to be fat this game. How scary is a farm TA, like, given these hero matchups?
It can be extremely scary. Like, Witch Doctor can just get blown up. The Witch Doctor versus TA is a sad matchup. Drow Ranger as well can die. It's just like Treant Protector and Storm Spirit should be pretty survivable versus the TA, but as long as she doesn't snowball out of control, but it looks like that might be the case.
Oh, the real U does go down bottom.
Chrono expended.
Blowing the Chrono there.
Yeah, the lanes are looking rough actually for Vega. They got to make some type of adjustments. Puck is now level 7, and he went for the 4-3 build. He has a 0 in coil, 0 in phase shift.
And he can't, I guess the Storm could go top, but he can't really leave that lane. It's going to get pushed down super quickly otherwise. They move on to Slayer. FNG continues to be effective on his roaming Clockwork. They'll find the kill. G wants to punish this. Gets that last overload proc, but now he's out of mana. He has a little bit of extra regen from the Soul Ring, but he jumps right into the trap and into the waiting arms of Iceberg. No shrine for him. Down he goes. Big pick off. Bit unfortunate that the trap was there, but he may have died anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, Drow just very much suffering, though, still in this offlane. He's almost level 6, so that'll make the lanes a lot... Well, the added damage bonus for his teammates is more helpful, but he's getting jumped on again. Oh,
BZZ,
no.
if he gets a bash, the real U is done for. Even without it, it's going to be close with this Liquid Fire. They had to TPG in for this, and he doesn't have a counterplay. This means free damage on the tower mid for Iceberg. Chewing through it, the Refraction's going to cool down soon. He's already got a glyph. A 4-hero Conga line just descends on the mid lane. They're even bringing the Drow for an Iceberg gank. Vega are desperate to mix up these lanes, and they committed a smoke for this, but Iceberg is wise to it. Now they're like, where do we go? What do we do? Nobody's farming bottom. Storm is just going to settle on mid, and all the while, Phobos is clearing out this top lane as Afterlife has had to make a long journey back to the well. He's even had to buy arcane boots for the extra bit of regen early. So all kinds of odd adjustments required from Vega to try and stabilize these lanes, and Spirit are just farming.
Yeah, the adjustments are not really working so far. About a 3k gold advantage already going for Team Spirit, and now Drow Ranger feels lost in a way. She doesn't really know where to go. She doesn't want to be parked in that off lane anymore because Chronosphere is going to be up, and it is up already. And she cannot go versus Broodmother top. So she has to jungle, which is not efficient right now. Especially when you've gone for like this Ring of Health build.
Exactly. It's terrible at jungling.
I don't really agree with it. I really think he should have gotten the Wraith Bands early on.
Maybe you go back for it later, but
yeah,
you at least got to get a couple of Wraith Bands.
I mean, it's not just for yourself. It's you know, you picked Drow for your team, so. Afterlife top, getting pressured by spiders, but oh, he's going to be able to farm most of them there, actually. So he's gone to the 4-4-0 build. He's now level 9. Alright, okay. This is a new one to me. But he's just thinking more about the lane rather than any rotations.
Right, it also means, though, like, he's not available to go around and punish tower dives or really do much of anything. He's just here to farm.
I mean, it's pretty unexpected, too, right? Like, he's level 9 and he's, like, killing all of your spiders. Afterlife top.
Also means no phase shift here. FNG dropping the cogs.
He now has skilled the coil, though, since he's level 9. He was holding on to that point for a while. And it's still just a Drow Ranger jungling, doing some Ancients. Trying to find what she can. Yeah,
well, Iceberg, this is a hero that can actually jungle. He's about to get a Desolator.
Yeah, he's got Deso finished already. It's sub 12 minutes. He's level 12 as well. Or she's level 12 on the Templar Assassin.
You almost never see TA do this well, and you certainly don't see it when you're against a Drow Storm in the mid lane.
Yeah. FNG's early start in that mid really surged Iceberg to having such an incredible start.
All of a sudden, I'm pretty worried for Vega. They're down 5,000 gold.
They ideally wanted to be able to win at least one lane. Like, maybe like 1.5. You know, like the Storm TA matchups, it can go both ways. But with the Clockwork starting mid, it threw a complete wrench in that one. Storm got pretty handled, I'd say, because TA is level 13 to a level 9 Storm, which is pretty absurd, the discrepancy there.
Yeah, you'll usually see the TA a decent amount ahead with the Ancient farming, but not that much.
Yeah, not that much. It's pretty absurd. But Drow Ranger just doesn't have a place to go. They wanted this bottom lane to win hard, but it didn't. It came out actually even, if not behind.
They're going to get bodied in the mid game if they don't do something, though, because the Void's going Midas, the TA can turbo farm, the Brood is so out of control already.
And he's building straight into the 4-step on the Drow Ranger. No Wraith Bands, no Aquila, nothing. So that's very bizarre to me.
At this point, it feels like the only real saving grace for Vega has to be the Storm getting out of control.
Yeah, or some big kind of team fight, because they still have that kind of combo when they get their 6 on Witch Doctor. They have Coil, they have good spells as long as the Chronosphere doesn't catch them perfectly. I like the Drow Rangers going for 4-staff, of course, versus Clockwork and everything, but yeah, just having none of those early stats is definitely hurting the other lanes.
Orchid is up now. Hey, Afterlife, how you doing? The hook shot, not on point, but it doesn't really matter. FNG finds the 1 kill. They can potentially chase after Silent, looking for another. They're diving this Witch Doctor. They would love for someone to come fight the Brood Mama's army with no one there to kill it. Easy double kill. And that is the power of the naked Orchid Rush. Not a build you see too much of nowadays, but I think you mentioned it, that it's just so good against the Puck and the Storm.
Yeah, it's incredibly good this game. I'm actually feeling like Vega need to start like
they are mega screwed. The real you now, Chrono to macro pired. They have no solution for this Chrono.
I think they need to be sitting behind people. They need to be grouping up. They can't be doing this anymore where they're sitting in like 3 different lanes. This is how they're just gonna get super punished by these overfarmed heroes on Spirit. I mean, it's 7,000 gold lead already going for Spirit. These lanes are a absolute nightmare for Vega. Drow Ranger has no place to go. Bottom lane, Fanscore looking to get gone on. This should be a nice, easy pickup here for Vega, so at least they get one.
Something for G. Still a long way to go for that Bloodstone.
Blink already, 2 on TA. So
they're diving.
Desolator.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Afterlife? Quick dive. Likely to drop to the Soul Burn and done for. Well, throw out the dust. That's all he can really do in the end is, well, G, the one here that can move around a little more freely is pressuring this bottom tower, but Meanwhile, TA, I think her
Mid
blink
lane.
is complete. Yeah, the blink dagger on its way, and they're not going to wait for it. They hook in onto the real U. Drow in all kinds of trouble. The slash damage coming through. Good job there with the side blades, but went before the blink. So
they went before the blink, and yeah, there's no extra mana on the Clockwork, so he can't cog, can't battery assault, nothing for the chase down. But it's
I mean, now Drow really has no home. Like TA can solo kill her, Void with a +1 can kill her, the Clock +1 can kill her. If she goes to the Brood's lane, the Brood can kill her, Giannis. This is a homeless Drow Ranger, that is for damn sure.
I don't know where she really goes, because the top side of the map is gone. Top side of the map is 100% Team Spirits now, because, you know, there's a Brood Mother there, and the lane went so in favor of her that now they have to just, I think they have to just group. They have to go for some, like, 5-man plays with the coil.
And you're 5-manning into Void.
Yeah.
That's a little scary. It is about 30 seconds until the chrono's up, but if they commit too far and he's able to counter-initiate, this could be disastrous. Iceberg does CG jumping around with the regen rune.
Bottom lane. Drow is spotted. Chronosphere online in 15.
10 seconds.
Yeah. BZZ was pinging it out already. He's like, this Drow thinks he can lane bottom?
And the beauty is that Spirit are just free to flex up here in the top lane. They've got the Spiderling army on G. This area is not safe if they can just get the Orchid with the Cog pushback. He's done for it. Well, he does ball away. That means Tree gets eaten up by those pesky Spiderlings. Now Afterlife in danger. Orb's back, and the slaughter is on. They dive forward. FNG trying to get to work with the Frost Arrows, but Brood quickly deals with her with the incapacitating bite. Out of position, out of options, down for the count. Now into Afterlife. Almost finished off here. He will not be able to get away. It's a very low-level phase shift, only level 1. So he's dead, then Silence dead, and Team Spirit are on the verge of 4 games in a row. This one is completely cooked.
I think this game's actually just over.
GG. I mean, it actually feels that bad.
It's a good Storm game, but
Brood has a Blink Orchid. It's no longer a good Storm game. Like, he's nowhere near a Bloodstone.
Unbrood?
Yeah, he just ball one.
Oh, it's at the base. Okay, yeah. I was like, what? Holy crap, yeah. He's so farmed on Brood Mother. And
Puck is food. Storm is now food. Drow is obviously food.
And the map is getting limited even more and more because Max Liquid Fire pushing towers and this Templar Assassin being so super farmed at almost level 17, pre-17 minutes. Oh, man. As a Drow lineup, you want to be winning the early game, and you are getting absolutely demolished right now. And you have no place to go. Your whole map is now.
And I don't think you have late game either. It's a Midas Void. It's a TA scale super hard.
Yeah. I mean, sure, they have. It's a, you know, it can be a good Storm game unless you just get 3-shotted in fights, which looks like it's going to be the case at this rate.
FNG wants to make the committed jump here. They can bring in Phobos for the Blink Silence.
They're pinging.
And
Storm
is asking for it. The hook follows him right through the lightning, and now the Silence comes in, and it looks like with the lockdown they will be able to secure the kill. Team Spirit massacring Vega, who came into today having the advantage of being able to sit in the lower bracket finals, await the winner of that previous series, but Spirit, they just have something going for them now. This team, all the momentum in the world, up 15-3, up 16,000 gold at 17.5 minutes against a Drow lineup, are on the cusp of moving into the grand finals for CIS.
Yeah. Vega is looking very disconnected, though, I do have to say. I don't see them making like the duo rotations with the 2 supports. Their draft looks okay. I know the Brood Mother really threw a wrench in everything, but they just seem to not be making the first moves or everything. It's Team Spirit just having all this much more like cleverness in their game plan. You know, with the Clockwork starting mid, Vega started with a full tri-lane in bottom. It like completely messed up everything when they had to try to make the rotations. Then Drow Ranger gets pressured as well. Just seems like a lot of mistakes coming out from Vega, but Spirit also playing pretty out of their minds with very minimal mistakes.
Oh, about to get a lot harder for Vega now as the Roche is quickly brought down. They can start to threaten high ground. They do have a 4-staff complete on the TA. Hurricane Pike not far off at all.
Feels bad. Playing with Drow Ranger lineup, and the enemy team takes Roche before you and has taken pretty much all of your outer towers already. Sub 20 minutes.
And with this, like, it's one thing if the Drow struggled, but as soon as the Brood went for that build, like, the Puck and the Storm are also immediately shut down by it, so now you've got 3 cores that can't do anything instead of just 1. And Drow only now completed her 4-staff. Oh my god, Iceberg! 2 shots?
3-shotted, yeah.
3 shots would have been enough. And they're now applying the split push pressure here.
I mean, it's level 18 Templar Assassin at 18 minutes.
And going in on the Silent, the cask timed well right as he was blinking forward, so not going to die off of that, but still, Spirit are so free to do whatever they want. Afterlife pops out the dust, that's about all he can do. The coil was committed with the tier 3s down mid. Spirit in full flex mode, looking for the takedown on the real you. Can't quite get the kill. Now the cask, maybe the turnaround. Storm balling in. He's like, screw this, man. I'm out. Finally, BZZ. Macro there. Connects on 2. Phobos dropping the web. Looking to get in. You can see the anti-synergy for Spirit. No one can really go into that chrono. But it doesn't matter. As soon as it ends, Iceberg begins the pain trade. Now diving forward. Give BZZ a bash. For Christ's sake, the man has earned one at this point, Ice Frog. 3 down. Afterlife, meanwhile, trying to jaunt away into the trees. And Iceberg's going deeper. He's going to the tier 4s. It will be an Ultra. He wants Afterlife as well. The Rampage is nigh. Iceberg killed. Maybe the GG will save Afterlife. Maybe the Well will do it. He blinks in deeper with the 4-step. Looking for the finish. The Aegis pops. And Mercy, I suppose, for the puck. But, ugh. Brutal for Vega.
Domination, honestly, across the board. FNG's like small little movements making a bit of the difference, but it's just this Templar Assassin and Broodmother completely handled this game. The 4th and 5th pick coming out from Team Spirit perfectly working out for them, and Vega without able to make really any great adjustments. The fact that the puck, who is their big playmaker on the side of Vega in the early game, as soon as puck hits 6, ideally you want the puck to make moves, but puck is stuck in that top lane because of the Brood problem.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really have anyone else to put there at that point, and that was the... Even though the synergy for the draft in the mid game wasn't there, like Spirit just showed we can come up with a trump card in the Brood pick that just ruins your laning stage so hard you don't have a comeback option.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. The Drow Ranger, after the first 6 minutes, had nowhere to go, and it was just an absolute stomp pretty much from Team Spirit.
All right, so Spirit versus Empire, best of 5 coming up. I'm just curious who won the head-to-head in the group stage. I'm going to check that now. But that will be our grand finals here for CIS. So Empire against Spirit. God, what's Spirit's logo? Oh, it's that. They have a new one now, huh?
Yeah.
So Empire did beat Spirit in the one game they played. Let's see, can we get the draft here?
Spirit looked hot today, at least from these 2 games that I just saw. They were very quick and cohesive. Their movement around the map, they all seemed to be like on the same page completely. Empire yesterday had the same kind of thing, though. Even the games where it looked like they were struggling, they were all playing together. So this should be a good next upcoming game for these 2.
Yeah. So they ran a Drow Dusa strat for Empire. So kind of a bit different from them. Caught Spirit off guard maybe in the BO1.
Okay.
But that was with their vaunted Chaos Knight. So I don't know if they'll go back to it. We'll see, guys. But now lower bracket finals over. One last match in CIS. One of these teams will go to the International. Will be Spirit. Will be Empire. We'll find out soon. Stick around. Toby's going to be joining you to bring you that final.